I remember when things were simple. Back then, I trusted her completely, and she trusted me, or at least that's what I thought. Our marriage was solid, built on love and respect, or so it seemed. We had our son, our little miracle, and life felt perfect. But now, as I sit here in the quiet of our living room, something gnaws at me, something I can't ignore anymore. It started small. She became distant, always on her phone, whispering late at night when she thought I was asleep. I noticed the changes, but I brushed them off, thinking it was just stress or maybe she needed space. I never imagined it could be anything more. I am a devoted husband, or at least I try to be. I've always been there for her, supporting her through everything. I'm proud of the life we've built, the home we've created for our son. He's the light of my life, the reason I work so hard. But lately I've felt like I'm losing them both, and I don't know why. My wife is beautiful, stunning even. She has a charm that draws people in, a smile that could disarm anyone. I've always been proud to have her by my side. To everyone else, we're the perfect couple, the family everyone admires. But behind closed doors, something's not right. I can feel it in my gut, and it's driving me insane. One evening, as I'm playing with our son, he says something that stops me cold. "Daddy, I found a funny website today." He giggles, his innocent eyes looking up at me. "It has videos of mommy and some other man." He calls her his special friend. My heart skips a beat, my hands go cold, and I try to keep my voice steady. "What do you mean, buddy?" I ask, forcing a smile, though my insides are churning. He just shrugs and runs off to play, leaving me standing there frozen. The room spins around me and I feel like I've been punched in the gut. My mind races, trying to make sense of what I just heard. It can't be true, I tell myself. It has to be some mistake. But deep down, I know it's not. The next morning, I try to shake off the feeling, telling myself I'm overreacting. But I can't let it go. I need to know what's going on. So when she leaves for work, I search her computer. My hands tremble as I type, and there it is. Dozens of videos, messages, photos. My wife with another man, laughing, smiling, doing things I thought were just for me. I can't breathe. My world crashes down around me. Everything I thought I knew is a lie. She's been living a double life, and I'm the fool who didn't see it coming. My son's innocent words have torn open a wound that will never heal. And now I'm left standing here, staring at the screen, wondering what the hell I'm supposed to do next. My hands are shaking as I close the laptop. I feel like I'm drowning, gasping for air in a room that suddenly feels too small, too suffocating. The images and videos are seared into my brain. My wife, wrapped around another man like she belongs to him, not me. Every smile, every kiss, every moan she gives him in those clips tears through me like a knife. I want to scream, but my son is in the next room, innocent and oblivious to the storm brewing in his father's heart. I can't fall apart. Not yet. I need answers. And I need them now. I confront her that night. She comes home, as if nothing's changed, as if she hasn't destroyed everything we built together. I wait until our son is asleep before I let the rage spill out. "Who the hell is he?" I spit the words out, my voice low and dangerous. She freezes, her hand halfway to her glass of wine. Her eyes widen, and for a second I see fear. But then she composes herself, trying to play it off. "What are you talking about?" "Don't lie to me." I slam the laptop down on the table, the screen flashing to life, revealing one of the videos. The color drains from her face as she realizes what I've seen. "You've been screwing him behind my back, and our son found out before I did." She opens her mouth, probably to deny it, but then her shoulders slump. I, I didn't want it to come out like this," she says softly, avoiding my eyes. "I was going to tell you." "Tell me what? That you're cheating on me? That our marriage is a joke?" I'm pacing now, the anger rolling off me in waves. Who the hell opens a marriage without telling their spouse? "It wasn't supposed to be like this," she whispers. I thought it would help us." "Help us?" I laugh, but it's a hollow, bitter sound. How is this supposed to help us? I read about it, she says, finally meeting my gaze, her eyes pleading. Other couples do it, and it strengthens their relationship. I thought, I thought if I kept it separate, if you never knew, it wouldn't hurt you. You're insane, I say, shaking my head. This, this is not what marriage is. I know I messed up, she says, her voice trembling. But it was just supposed to be physical, nothing more. It didn't mean anything. Didn't mean anything? I can't believe what I'm hearing. You betrayed me our vows, and it didn't mean anything. She reaches out, but I pull back, disgusted. Please, just let me explain, she begs. Explain? There's nothing to explain. You cheated. End of story. It's not that simple, she insists. I opened the marriage because I thought it would make us stronger, keep things exciting. You're delusional, I say, stepping away from her. And now you've destroyed everything. She's crying now, tears streaming down her face. But I don't care. I feel nothing but cold, hard anger. Who is he? I ask again. It doesn't matter, she says, shaking her head. He's no one. No one. I laugh again, louder this time, almost hysterical. He's not no one. He's someone who had his hands all over my wife. He's someone who's been inside you while I was here, playing the fool. So tell me, who is he? She hesitates, then finally whispers his name. It's a name I don't recognize, and that somehow makes it worse. This stranger, this nobody, has taken what's mine, and I have no idea who he is. Where did you meet him? She doesn't answer, just looks down at her hands, and I realize I can't stand to look at her anymore. I turn away, heading to the door. I need air, space, something to clear my head. Where are you going? She asks, her voice panicked. Away from you, I say, not looking back. I need to think. I drive for hours, my mind racing. I can't stop seeing the images, hearing the sounds. Every time I close my eyes, it's there, mocking me. I don't know what to do. My life, my marriage, it's all a lie. The woman I love has betrayed me in the worst possible way, and I don't know if I can forgive her. When I finally pull into the driveway, the house is dark. I sit in the car, staring at the front door, wondering how I'm supposed to walk back in there, how I'm supposed to pretend everything is normal for our son's sake. The next day I dig deeper. I want to know everything about this man, this intruder in my life. I track him down, find out where he works, where he lives. It doesn't take long. He's been sloppy, careless, probably never imagined I'd find out. I confront her again that night. Did you even think about our son? I ask, my voice cold and flat. Did you think about what this would do to him if he found out? She flinches, her guilt written all over her face. I never wanted him to know, she says, her voice breaking. I never wanted to hurt him. But you did, I snap. He found those videos and now he's going to have to live with that for the rest of his life. What kind of mother does that? She doesn't have an answer. She just breaks down, sobbing uncontrollably. But I don't care. I'm beyond caring at this point. I can't stop thinking about the other man, though. I need to see him, confront him, make him understand what he's done. I know it won't fix anything, but I can't let it go. I need to face him, to see the man who's taken everything from me. When I finally track him down, it's at a bar. He's sitting there laughing with some friends, completely unaware that his world is about to change. I walk up to him, my heart pounding in my chest, and tap him on the shoulder. He turns, and for a moment, he doesn't recognize me. But then something flickers in his eyes, recognition, followed by a smug smile that makes my blood boil. Can I help you? He asks, feigning innocence. You know who I am, I say, my voice low and dangerous. He just smirks. Yeah, I do. The arrogance in his tone makes me want to hit him, but I hold back barely. You've been screwing my wife. He shrugs as if it's nothing. She didn't seem to mind. That's it. I lose it. My fist connects with his jaw, and he stumbles back, shocked. His friends jump up, ready to intervene, but I don't care. I grab him by the collar and drag him outside, away from the prying eyes of the bar. You think this is a game? I hiss, shoving him against the wall. You think you can just walk into my life and take what's mine? He laughs, actually laughs as if I'm the one being ridiculous. She's the one who came to me, man. Maybe you should ask yourself why. The words hit harder than any punch. I let him go, suddenly deflated, the rage draining out of me, leaving only a hollow emptiness. Go home, he says, brushing himself off. This isn't going to change anything. I watch him walk away, and I know he's right. Beating him up won't fix this. Nothing will. But I'm not done. I can't just walk away from this. I need to figure out my next move because this isn't over. Not by a long shot. When I get home, she's waiting for me, her eyes red from crying. What did you do? She asks, her voice shaking. Nothing, I say, walking past her. Not yet. I leave her standing there, confused and scared. She should be, because now I'm done playing nice. Now it's my turn to take control. The next morning, I can't shake the rage that settled deep in my chest. I don't sleep. I just lie there staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment, every lie she told me, every excuse she made. It's like a movie reel I can't turn off, and it's driving me insane. I can't let this go. Not yet. I need answers. I need to see him again, to make him understand what he's done. It's not enough that I hit him once. He needs to know he's messed with the wrong man. But I need to be smarter this time. I can't just walk into a bar and start throwing punches. I need leverage. I spend the morning digging into his life. I find out where he works, who his friends are, where he spends his time. It doesn't take long. He's not exactly hiding. He's arrogant, careless, probably never thought he'd have to deal with a pissed-off husband coming after him. That works to my advantage. When I finally confront him, it's outside his office. I watch him from across the street, waiting until he's alone. My heart is pounding in my chest, but this time, it's not out of fear. It's anger, pure and simple. I cross the street, walking up to him as he's lighting a cigarette. He looks up, sees me, and for a moment, there's that same smug smile. It makes my blood boil. What do you want? He asks, blowing smoke out of the side of his mouth. He's too confident, too sure of himself. I want you to stay the hell away from my wife, I say, my voice low but firm. He laughs like it's the funniest thing he's ever heard. Man, if she didn't want me around, she wouldn't keep coming back. Maybe you should ask her why she needs me. His words hit me like a slap. I clench my fists, every muscle in my body screaming at me to hit him again, to wipe that grin off his face. But I can't. Not yet. I need something more. Maybe you should ask yourself why you're so desperate for someone else's wife. I shoot back, trying to keep my voice steady. What's the matter? Can't get one of your own? His smile falters, just for a second, and I know I've hit a nerve. Good. I take a step closer, lowering my voice so only he can hear. I know where you live, I say, my tone cold. I know where you work. I know everything about you. You think you can just walk into my life and take what's mine? You're wrong. He doesn't say anything, just stares at me, trying to read my face. I keep my expression blank, hiding the storm brewing inside me. I need him to feel what I'm feeling. Fear, anger, helplessness. I'm not going anywhere, he finally says, but there's less conviction in his voice now. She came to me. You can't stop her from doing what she wants. I can stop you, I say, taking another step closer. You're done. This is over. He stares at me for a long moment, and I can see the wheels turning in his head. He's weighing his options, trying to figure out if I'm serious. I don't break eye contact, don't flinch. He needs to know I'm not bluffing. Finally, he takes a step back, dropping his cigarette and grinding it out with his shoe. We'll see about that, he mutters before turning and walking away. I watch him go, my hands still clenched into fists, my heart racing. This isn't over, not by a long shot, but I've made my point. He knows I'm not backing down. Now I need to deal with her. When I get home, she's sitting on the couch, staring at the wall. She looks up when I walk in, her eyes red and swollen from crying. I don't feel sorry for her. I can't. Where were you? She asks, her voice small and scared. Taking care of business, I say, brushing past her and heading for the kitchen. I need a drink, something strong to calm the rage still burning inside me. Please, can we talk? She begs, following me. I know you're angry, but we need to talk about this. Talk? I laughed bitterly, pouring myself a glass of whiskey. What's there to talk about? You betrayed me. End of story. It's not that simple, she says, her voice trembling. I made a mistake. I know that. But it doesn't mean I don't love you. Love, I snap, turning to face her. You call this love? Sneaking around, sleeping with another man behind my back, lying to me every day? That's not love. That's betrayal. I was confused, she says, tears streaming down her face. I didn't know what I wanted. I thought, I thought it would make things better. Better? I slammed the glass down on the counter, the sound echoing through the room. How is this better? You've destroyed everything. She flinches, but I don't care. I can't stop the anger, the hurt. It's all consuming, burning me up from the inside. I still love you, she whispers, her voice barely audible. Do you? I ask, my voice cold. Or are you just scared of being alone? Her silence is answer enough. She doesn't know what she wants. She's lost, and now she's dragging me down with her. I can't do this, I say, shaking my head. I can't keep pretending everything is okay. It's not. You broke us. I'm sorry, she cries, reaching for me, but I pull away. Sorry isn't enough, I say, my voice hard. Sorry doesn't fix this. She breaks down, sobbing uncontrollably, but I don't move to comfort her. I can't. I'm too angry, too hurt. I need space, time to think. I need to go, I say, turning away from her. I can't be here right now. Please don't go, she begs, but I'm already out the door, the cold night air hitting me like a slap. I drive aimlessly, my mind racing. I don't know what to do, where to go. Everything is falling apart, and I can't seem to stop it. The images of her with him, the sound of her voice pleading with me, it's all too much. I end up at a hotel, checking in without even thinking. I just need somewhere to be alone, to clear my head. The room is small, sterile, but it's quiet. I sit on the bed staring at the wall, trying to make sense of everything. That's when my phone buzzes. It's a text from an unknown number. I hesitate, then open it. It's a picture of my son sleeping in his bed with the words, "Are you sure he's yours?" My heart stops. I stare at the screen, my mind racing. What the hell is this? Who would send me this? And then it hits me. Him. He's trying to mess with me, to push me over the edge. I can't breathe. I feel like I'm going to be sick. I grab my keys and rush out of the room, my mind in a fog. I need to get home, to see my son, to make sure he's okay. When I get there, the house is quiet, too quiet. I rush to his room, my heart pounding in my chest. He's there, still asleep, his little face peaceful. I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding, but the relief is short-lived. The doubt, the fear, it's all still there, gnawing at me. What if he's not mine? What if everything I've ever known, ever believed, is a lie? I can't take it. I need to know. I need the truth, no matter how much it hurts. The next morning, I take a hair from his pillow, careful not to wake him. I don't tell my wife. I can't. This is something I need to do on my own. I send it off for a DNA test, the wait agonizing. Every day feels like an eternity, every moment filled with dread. I can't sleep, can't eat, can't think about anything else. And then the results come back. The envelope feels heavy in my hands. The weight of the truth inside almost too much to bear. I sit down staring at it, my hands shaking. Finally, I tear it open, my heart racing. The words blur together at first, but then they come into focus, and I feel the ground shift beneath me. He's not mine. The world goes silent, everything fading into the background. He's not mine. My son, the boy I've loved and raised, the light of my life, isn't mine. I can't breathe. I can't think. Everything shatters around me, the pieces falling to the ground in a silent, deadly rain. This is it. This is the breaking point. There's no going back from this. The results in my hand feel like a death sentence. I sit there, staring at the cold, clinical words that have just shattered my world. He's not mine. The boy I've loved, raised, and called my son isn't mine. My mind goes blank, the room spinning around me. This isn't real. It can't be real. But it is. I can't stay in this house. Can't be near her right now. I need to get out, to think, to breathe. But there's nowhere to go. Nowhere that feels safe anymore. Everything I thought I knew has been ripped away, leaving me adrift in a sea of anger and betrayal. I don't know how long I sit there, lost in my thoughts, but eventually I stand up. My legs feel weak, shaky, like they might give out at any moment. I don't know what I'm doing, don't have a plan, but I need to see him. I need to confront the man who's taken everything from me. I drive to his apartment, the address burned into my memory from my earlier search. My knuckles are white as I grip the steering wheel, my heart pounding in my chest. I don't know what I'm going to do when I get there, but I can't stop myself. This needs to end. When I pull up, I see his car parked out front. He's home. Good. I get out of the car, my hands trembling with a mix of rage and fear. I walk up to the door, my heart hammering so hard I can hear it in my ears. I raise my hand to knock, but before I can, the door swings open. He's standing there looking surprised for just a moment before that smug smile creeps back onto his face. "Well, look who it is," he says, leaning against the doorframe. "What brings you here?" I don't answer. I just stare at him, my mind racing with 1,000 thoughts. None of them good. He's the reason my life is in ruins, the reason I can't look at my son the same way again. I want to hurt him, to make him feel a fraction of the pain he's caused me. But I can't move. I'm frozen, caught between wanting to rip him apart and the realization that nothing I do here will change what's already happened. "What's the matter?" "Cat got your tongue?" he taunts, his voice dripping with arrogance. That's when I snap. I lunge at him, grabbing him by the collar and shoving him back into the apartment. He stumbles, caught off guard, but quickly regains his balance, pushing back against me. "What the hell, man?" he shouts. But I don't let go. I shove him harder, my fists clenching and unclenching as I fight the urge to hit him. "You ruined my life," I hiss through gritted teeth. "You took everything from me." He laughs, actually laughs, as if this is all some kind of joke. "Man, your life was a mess long before I came along. She came to me, remember? Maybe if you'd been a better husband, she wouldn't have needed someone else." The words hit me like a slap to the face. I feel the anger boiling over, but beneath it is something else, something darker. Doubt. Was this my fault? Did I push her into his arms? But before I can let those thoughts take root, the rage takes over. I slam him against the wall, my vision going red. "Don't you dare put this on me," I growl. "This is all on you." He struggles, trying to break free, but I don't let him. I've got years of frustration, anger, and pain fueling me, and I'm not about to let him off easy. "You think you can just walk into someone's life and take whatever you want? You think there are no consequences? I didn't take anything that wasn't offered," he snaps back, his eyes flashing with defiance. "She wanted this. You think you can keep her if she doesn't want to stay?" That's when I realize he's not afraid. He's not scared of me or what I might do. He thinks he's won, that he's already taken everything that matters, and maybe he has, but I'm not done. I let go of him, taking a step back, my mind racing. There's no point in fighting him physically. It won't change anything, and it sure as hell won't make me feel better. I need to hit him where it really hurts. "You think you've won, don't you?" I say, my voice low, dangerous. "But you're just as pathetic as she is. You're nothing. Just a sad little man who needs to steal someone else's life to feel important." His smug expression falters, just for a second, and I know I've struck a nerve. Good. I step closer, my voice dripping with venom. "You think she loves you? You're just a toy, something she uses to fill the void. She'll toss you aside the second she finds something better. And when she does, you'll be left with nothing." He opens his mouth to argue, but I don't give him the chance. You're a joke, I continue, my words sharp as knives. A pathetic excuse for a man who can't even keep what's his. You didn't win her. You're just a temporary distraction. He stares at me, and I can see the doubt creeping in. I've gotten to him. I can see it in his eyes, the way his confidence wavers. He's not as sure of himself as he was before, and that's enough for now. I turn and walk out, leaving him standing there, stunned. The rage is still there, but it's simmering now, controlled. I know this isn't over, not by a long shot, but I've taken the first step in getting my life back. When I get home, she's waiting for me, her eyes red and puffy from crying. She stands as I walk in, her hands trembling. "Where were you?" she asks, her voice small, broken. "Taking care of things," I say, brushing past her. "Please talk to me," she begs, following me into the kitchen. "We need to figure this out." "There's nothing to figure out," I say, grabbing a beer from the fridge and cracking it open. "You made your choice." "It was a mistake," she says, her voice shaking. "I know that now, but we can fix this. We can move past it." "Move past it?" I laugh, the sound bitter and harsh. "You don't move past something like this. You don't just forget that the son you've raised for years isn't yours." She flinches, the pain in her eyes almost enough to make me feel sorry for her. Almost. But the hurt is too deep, the betrayal too raw. "I love you," she whispers, her voice breaking. "I never stopped loving you." "You've got a funny way of showing it," I say, taking a long swig of beer. "Please, we can make this work," she says, desperation in her voice. "We can go to counseling. We can talk about everything. We can find a way to fix this." I stare at her, the woman I once loved more than anything, and I feel nothing but cold, empty anger. "There's no fixing this," I say, my voice flat. "You destroyed everything." She breaks down, sobbing, but I don't move to comfort her. I can't. There's nothing left to give. I've been stripped of everything that mattered, and all that's left is the hollow shell of the man I used to be. As she crumbles, I turn away, my mind racing. This isn't over. Isn't? Not yet. There's still one more thing I need to do, one final step to take. And once it's done, everything will change. The next day I go back to his apartment. But this time, I'm not looking for a fight. I'm looking for an end. I bring the DNA results, the final nail in the coffin, and I leave them on his doorstep with a simple note. You wanted him, now you have him. It's over. I've made my decision, and there's no turning back. The woman I loved is gone, and the life I thought we had is dead. Now all that's left is to pick up the pieces and start again, alone. The decision is made in a moment of cold clarity. I know what I have to do to put an end to this nightmare. The evidence I've gathered against him, emails, texts, and videos, will be my weapon. He thinks he's untouchable, that he can continue to torment me and my family without consequence. But he's wrong. I've been methodical, careful, and now I have everything I need to destroy him. I spend hours compiling the files, making sure nothing is left out. Every incriminating detail is saved, ready to be used when the time is right. I know where he works, who his clients are, and how much he stands to lose if this gets out. He's not just some lowlife. He's built a reputation, a career, and I'm about to rip it all away. When everything is ready, I sit back and stare at the screen. The images of him with my wife, the texts where they laugh at my expense, it's all there, staring back at me. I feel a twisted sense of satisfaction, knowing that soon he'll be the one left broken. But it's not enough. I need him to feel what I've felt, to understand the depths of betrayal. So I wait. I wait until I know he's at work, where the pressure will be at its peak, where he can't just walk away. And then I make the call. His voice is calm when he answers, but I can hear the underlying tension. He knows I'm not done, that there's more to come. "What do you want?" he asks, trying to keep his voice steady. "I want you to listen," I say, my tone icy. "I've got something for you, something I think you'll want to see." There's a pause, and then he laughs, that same smug laugh that's been haunting me. "You think you can scare me? You've got nothing." I've got everything, I reply, and then I send the first file. I hear the silence on the other end, the shock as he opens it, sees the evidence laid out in front of him. I wait, letting it sink in before sending the next one and the next. By the time I'm done, there's no sound on the other end, just the faint sound of his breathing. You think you're smart, I say, leaning back in my chair. You think you can take what's mine and get away with it? You, he starts, but I cut him off. You're finished, I say, my voice low and hard. I've got enough here to ruin you, to make sure you never work again, to make sure everyone knows what kind of man you really are. There's a long silence, and then he speaks, his voice shaky. What do you want? I want you out of our lives, I say, each word like a bullet. You disappear, you never contact her again, and you stay the hell away from my family. If you don't, I'll make sure this goes public. I'll make sure everyone knows. He's quiet for a long time, and I can almost hear the gears turning in his head. He's weighing his options, but he knows he's trapped. Finally, he speaks, his voice defeated. Fine, I'm done. You'll never hear from me again. Good, I say, and then I hang up, feeling a grim satisfaction settle over me. It's done. He's gone. But the victory is hollow. I've won, but at what cost? My wife is a shell of the woman she once was, our marriage hanging by a thread. And then there's our son, the boy who isn't really mine. How do I go back to that life, knowing everything I know? I return home, the weight of everything I've done pressing down on me. She's waiting for me, as she always is, her eyes filled with a mix of hope and fear. She knows something has changed, that the balance of power has shifted. She's no longer the one in control. What happened? She asks, her voice trembling. It's over, I say, brushing past her. He's gone. You'll never see him again. She lets out a shaky breath, relief flooding her features. But I'm not done. I turn to face her, my expression hard. But this doesn't change anything. You destroyed us, and there's no going back. Tears well up in her eyes, but I don't soften. I can't. I'm sorry, she whispers, her voice breaking. I never meant for any of this to happen. But it did, I say, my voice cold. And now we have to live with it. She nods, wiping at her eyes. What do we do now? I don't know, I admit, the weight of everything settling over me. I don't know if there's anything left to save. She reaches out to me, but I pull away, the touch of her hand like a burning brand. I can't stand the thought of being close to her, of pretending everything is okay. I need time, I say, turning away from her. I need to think. Take all the time you need, she says, her voice small. I'll be here, waiting. I don't answer, just head upstairs to the bedroom that now feels like a stranger's. The bed we once shared, where we once made love, now feels like a mockery. I lie down, staring at the ceiling, my mind racing with thoughts I can't quiet. I've taken care of the immediate threat, but the damage is done. Our marriage is a wreck, our son caught in the crossfire of a war he didn't start. I've won the battle, but the war has left scars that may never heal. Days turn into weeks, the silence in the house growing heavier with each passing day. We move through the motions of life, but it's all just a facade. I can see the guilt eating away at her, the way she flinches when I speak, the way she looks at our son with a mix of love and fear. I don't know if I can forgive her, if I can ever look at her the same way again. The betrayal is too deep, the wound too fresh. But then there's our son, the boy who still calls me daddy, who looks at me with the innocent trust of a child who doesn't know his world is crumbling around him. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know if we can find a way to move forward, or if this is the end of everything we've built. But I know one thing. I need to find a way to live with the choices I've made, the decisions that have brought us to this point. The aftermath is brutal, the wreckage of our lives scattered around us like broken glass. But in the midst of the chaos, there's a small, twisted sense of justice. He's gone, out of our lives for good, and the power is back in my hands. But the question remains, what do I do with that power? How do I rebuild what's been destroyed, or is it even possible? As I stand at the window staring out at the world beyond, I feel the weight of everything pressing down on me. The choices I've made, the lives I've shattered, it's all there, waiting for me to confront. And so I begin to contemplate what's left of my marriage, what's left of the life we once had. The path forward is unclear, the future uncertain. But one thing is certain, whatever comes next, it will be on my terms. For now, that's enough. I sit across from her at the kitchen table, the silence between us heavy and suffocating. She's barely touched her food, just pushing it around her plate, her eyes downcast. The woman I once knew, the one who was always so full of life, is gone, replaced by someone I barely recognize. But maybe that's because I'm not the man I used to be either. I can't keep living like this, I say, breaking the silence. My voice is flat, devoid of emotion. I've spent so long feeling everything so intensely that now I'm just numb. She looks up at me, her eyes filled with fear. What do you mean? We need to talk, I continue, keeping my tone steady, about what happens next. She nods, biting her lip, and I can see the tears welling up in her eyes. But I don't soften. I can't. This conversation is long overdue, and it's time to face the reality of what we've become. I know I messed up, she whispers, her voice trembling. I know I hurt you in ways I can never take back. But I love you, and I want to fix this. I want to fix us. Do you, I ask, my gaze piercing, or are you just scared of being alone? She flinches as if I've slapped her. I'm not scared of being alone, she says softly. I'm scared of losing you. You already lost me, I reply, the words hanging in the air like a death sentence. The moment you opened that door, the moment you decided to let him into our lives, you lost me. She starts to cry, the tears she's been holding back finally spilling over. I watch her, feeling nothing but a cold, empty void where my heart used to be. I didn't mean for any of this to happen, she sobs. I thought it would make things better. I was wrong. I was so wrong. I know, I say, my voice barely above a whisper. But it doesn't change what you did. It doesn't change the fact that you broke us. She reaches out across the table, her hand trembling. But I don't take it. I can't. Instead, I stand up, needing to put distance between us. I walk over to the window, staring out at the darkness that settled over our home, the darkness that seeped into every corner of our lives. We can't go back, I say, my back still turned to her. We can't pretend like none of this happened. I don't want to pretend, she says, her voice desperate. I want to move forward. I want to find a way to heal, to make things right. I turn to face her, my expression hard. And how do you suggest we do that? How do you expect me to forget what you've done, what you've taken from me? She looks down, unable to meet my gaze. I don't know, she admits, her voice barely audible. But I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I'll go to counseling. I'll do anything. Just please don't give up on us. I stare at her, the woman who once meant everything to me, and I wonder if there's anything left to save. The betrayal, the lies, the destruction of everything we built. It's all still so raw, so painful. Can I ever look at her the same way again? Can I ever trust her? I don't know if I can do this, I say, the weight of the words crushing me. I don't know if I can forgive you. She starts to cry again, her shoulders shaking with the force of her sobs. But I don't move to comfort her. I stand there, feeling the walls closing in around me, the sense of hopelessness overwhelming. I'll give you time, she says through her tears. I'll give you all the time you need. Just don't walk away, please. I don't answer. I don't know what to say. So I turn and leave the room, the sound of her crying echoing in my ears as I walk upstairs to the bedroom that no longer feels like home. The days pass in a blur of silence and tension. We move through the house like ghosts, barely speaking, barely acknowledging each other. The distance between us grows wider with each passing day, and I can feel the weight of it pressing down on me, suffocating me. I don't know what to do. Part of me wants to walk away, to leave this broken life behind and start over. But another part of me, the part that still remembers what we once had, clings to the hope that maybe, just maybe, we can find a way to heal. One night, as I lie in bed staring at the ceiling, I feel her slip into bed beside me. I tense, my heart racing, but I don't move. She's so close I can feel the warmth of her body, but there's a chasm between us that feels insurmountable. Please, she whispers, her voice trembling. Please don't shut me out. I close my eyes, willing myself to stay strong, to keep the distance between us. But then she reaches out, her hand brushing against mine, and I feel something inside me crack. I turn to face her, the moonlight casting a soft glow over her tear-streaked face. I don't know how to do this, I admit, my voice raw with emotion. I don't know how to move past what you did. She nods, her eyes filled with pain. I know, and I don't expect you to, but I want to try. I want to try and make this right. I stare at her, the woman who shattered my heart, and I feel the anger, the betrayal, the hurt all rising up inside me. But beneath it all, there's something else, something I've been trying to ignore. Love. As twisted and damaged as it is, it's still there, buried beneath the rubble of our broken marriage. I don't know if I can forgive you, I say, my voice breaking. I know, she whispers, but will you try? Will you try for us? For our son? Our son, the boy who isn't mine by blood, but who still calls me daddy, who looks at me with love and trust that I don't deserve. I think about him, about what this will do to him, and I feel the weight of the decision pressing down on me. I don't know, I say, the truth cutting through the darkness. I don't know if I'm strong enough. She reaches out, her hand trembling as she touches my face. You're the strongest man I know, she says softly, and I believe in you. I believe in us. I close my eyes, the tears I've been holding back finally spilling over. I want to believe her. I want to believe that we can find a way through this, but I don't know if I can. The wounds are too deep, the scars too fresh. But as I lie there, her hand on my face, her breath mingling with mine, I feel something shift inside me. It's not forgiveness, not yet, but it's a start. It's a small, fragile hope that maybe, just maybe, we can find a way to heal. I'll try, I whisper, the words barely audible. But I can't promise anything. That's all I need, she says, her voice filled with hope. That's all I need. We lie there in the darkness, the silence between us no longer suffocating but comforting. It's not a resolution. It's not the end of our journey, but it's a step. A small, tentative step towards something that might resemble healing. As the night stretches on, I hold on to that fragile hope, knowing that the road ahead will be long and difficult, but maybe, just maybe, it's a road worth taking. The house is quiet now, the kind of quiet that feels heavy, almost oppressive. It's been days since our last conversation, the one where she begged me to try, and I agreed, though I'm not sure why. Maybe because part of me still holds on to the man I used to be, the man who believed in love, in family. Or maybe it's because of our son, the boy who doesn't know the truth and still looks at me with trust I don't deserve. I've had a lot of time to think, to reflect on everything that's happened. The betrayal, the lies, the way our life unraveled so quickly. It's hard to believe that just a few months ago, we were a family like any other, and now we're standing on the edge of something I can't even name. I think about the night I found out, the rage that consumed me, the need for revenge that drove me to confront him. I wanted to hurt him, to make him pay for what he did to us, and I did in my own way. But it didn't bring me the satisfaction I thought it would. It didn't fix anything. I think about her, too. The woman I loved, the one who broke my heart in ways I never imagined possible. I still don't understand why she did it, why she thought opening our marriage would save us. But I see the guilt in her eyes, the regret that weighs on her like a heavy chain. I know she's sorry, but I'm not sure if sorry's enough. I walk through the house, the silence pressing in on me from all sides. Every room holds a memory, a reminder of what we had and what we lost. I stop in front of our son's room, the door slightly ajar. I push it open, standing in the doorway, watching him sleep. He looks so peaceful, so innocent, and it breaks something inside me to know that he's caught in the middle of all this. He's not mine by blood, but he's mine in every way that matters. I've raised him, loved him, and I would do anything to protect him. But how do I protect him from this? From the truth that will shatter his world just like it shattered mine? I close the door quietly and head downstairs, my mind still racing. I can't keep living like this, in this limbo where nothing feels real, where every day is just a reminder of what we lost. But I don't know how to move forward either. I don't know if we can. I sit down at the kitchen table, the same place where we had that conversation, and I let my head fall into my hands. I'm exhausted, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally. I feel like I've been fighting a war, and I'm not sure if there's anything left to fight for. I hear her footsteps on the stairs, and I look up as she enters the kitchen. She's wearing one of my old t-shirts, the one she always said was her favorite. It used to make me smile to see her in it, but now it just reminds me of everything we've lost. "Can we talk?" she asks, her voice tentative, almost afraid. I nod, not trusting myself to speak. She sits down across from me, her hands folded in her lap, her eyes downcast. "I've been thinking," she says, her voice barely above a whisper, "about everything. About us." I don't say anything, just wait for her to continue. She takes a deep breath, then looks up at me, her eyes filled with a sadness that mirrors my own. "I know I can't take back what I did," she says. "I know I can't undo the hurt I've caused. But I want to try, for our son's sake if nothing else. He deserves to have a family, a real family." Her words hang in the air, and I feel a lump forming in my throat. She's right, of course. He deserves better than this, better than two parents who can barely stand to be in the same room together. "I want that too," I finally say, my voice rough with emotion. "But I don't know if we can get there. I don't know if I can ever forgive you." She nods, her eyes glistening with tears. "I understand, and if you can't, I'll accept that. But I'm willing to do whatever it takes to try. I don't want to lose you, or him." I look at her, really look at her, and I see the woman I fell in love with all those years ago. The woman who was my partner, my best friend, the mother of my child. But I also see the woman who betrayed me, who shattered the life we built together. And I don't know which one is real anymore. I'm not sure how to do this, I admit, the words catching in my throat. I'm not sure if we can ever be the same. "We won't be," she says, reaching across the table to take my hand. "But maybe we can be something new. Maybe we can rebuild piece by piece." I stare at her hand in mine, the warmth of her skin against mine, a stark contrast to the coldness I felt for so long. It would be so easy to pull away, to walk out that door and leave it all behind. But then I think of our son, of the life we had, and I wonder if there's still something worth saving. "I'll try," I finally say, squeezing her hand. "But I need you to understand that this isn't going to be easy. It's going to take time, and I can't promise that we'll get there." "I understand," she says, her voice thick with tears, "and I'm willing to wait as long as it takes." We sit there in silence, our hands still entwined, and for the first time in a long time, I feel a flicker of hope. It's small, fragile, but it's there, and maybe that's enough. The road ahead is uncertain, filled with obstacles I'm not sure we can overcome. But as I sit here with her, with the woman who was once my everything, I realize that I'm not ready to give up. Not yet. Life will never be the same, and maybe that's okay. Maybe it's time to let go of the past, to stop clinging to what was and start building something new, something stronger, something real. As I stand at this crossroads, I know the future is uncertain, but for the first time in a long time, I feel like it's mine to shape, and that's a start.